Hi folks, welcome back to the channel. It's a very winter's day down at the storage yard. Now if you're like me and you put your caravan away in storage for winter, then this might be something that you could be interested in listening to. Also, if you don't actually go and check out on a regular basis, then this is something you definitely need to have a look at. So what we're going to do is I'm going to show you a few walk-arounds around the caravan that you should check whilst it's away in storage. So if you have a cover on your caravan like me, then you need to check it out. First of all, make sure there's no rips, tears, and all the fastenings underneath and wherever you may have them are nice and secure and they're not falling off. Some of the cheaper covers, the straps can come loose because they're not sewn very well. But nevertheless, a cover is a cover. So check your cover out and make sure that the cover is nice and secure and there's no damage to it. Now if you do have a cover on, make sure that the plastic window is nice and clean and can allow the solar panel to do its job in winter. Otherwise, your battery could end up flat. Now, if you have no cover at all, then the principles are the same. In fact, you've got a little bit more work to do because you've got to check all the windows, the gas locker and everything else that is related to the caravan, as in the walls, the sides. Make sure there's no damage. Check the roof if possible and check your solar panel as well. Make sure that's nice and clean and it's going to do its job and function properly by keeping your battery topped up. Now, speaking of batteries, what you can do with your battery if you don't have a solar panel is take it home, perhaps put it on a trickle charge. There are plenty of trickle chargers out there for leisure batteries and that'll keep it topped up and performing ready for the next season. Now, we're going to be doing a video in the new season actually on leisure batteries because we've got a little of an issue with ours and I'm going to be chatting about those in the future. But moving back to now, like I said, with us you can test your battery two ways. You can actually test it by the panel on the inside of the caravan, which is not very accurate. What I would highly recommend is you take it off the actual caravan itself and test it with a voltmeter, and if you don't have one of them you can always take it to your local garage and they'll test it for you. They'll be able to tell you whether all the cells are working properly and it's performing to its maximum capacity. Another thing we can do is also check our tyres. Make sure that we've overinflated them slightly and that they're still holding air. Now if you want to, at some point you could move them if you are concerned about flat spots. Just roll them a few inches forward or backwards depending on what space you've got and then reattach your locks. So speaking of locks, what we're going to do is we're going to check them, make sure they're nice and secure and they've not been tampered with since you last came to the van to check it out. So we've checked outside and everything's fine. What we'll do now is head on inside and check out the interior. So the first thing I like to do when I get inside the caravan, take a good lungful of air and get a whiff of the caravan. Does it smell damp? If it does, have a look around the caravan and see what potentially could be causing that damp smell. With the curtains, I leave them closed like this and it allows the air to circulate around the back of them properly and it stops them getting mouldy. Also, the upholstery is always upended if you've not done this already, allows it to circulate the air. Now, another thing that I would recommend is if you didn't do a full prep before putting it away, do your final prep now. Get it all out. Everything that you don't need that can attract moisture, get it out of the caravan. I.e. things like this, boxes of tissues. I mean, there's a few left. They're going home now. We don't need them here. They were missed last time I did my checks. Anything like that that can create and attract and soak moisture in, or it can help rodents build a nest. Them are the things that you want out of the caravan. Now, if it's really cluttered, you're not really going to be able to inspect it properly. So my advice to you is if it's at all possible, remove as much possible of equipment out of the caravan as you can so that it makes it easy to inspect and you're not here for hours on end moving things in order to check that, make sure that there's nothing untoward. So the next thing I'm going to talk about is moisture traps. Now, I've got one here as an example. Do you use them or do you not? I personally think it's a personal preference. Some people have gone into the science of it. I know Darren from Atlantic Caravans went into a bit more scientifically, but you either use them or you don't, as far as I'm concerned. If you feel that they're going to help with the moisture in your caravan, then by all means use them. If not, ignore them, don't bother. It's entirely up to you, really. Now, here in the bedroom, we strip the bed completely. There's nothing left on the bed while it's in storage. We never leave it made up, because all it does is attract extra moisture into the quilt and the duvet covers, and to be honest, it can make the caravan a lot more damp than it actually is. So really, get rid of it all, get it away, wash it, and get it ready for the next season. Well folks, the caravan's locked up now and I'm going to be heading off home. But before I do, I just wanted to mention a couple more things. With the caravan, what I would recommend is, if you've got it in storage, visit it at least every 2 weeks. Check on it, make sure that everything's okay, do them little checks I've just shown you. And another thing, if there's a lot of weeds growing at the side of it, perhaps if you could get hold of a strimmer or some clippers and cut it all back, let it all die down during the winter as well. It'll allow the air to circulate underneath the van, and it stops rodents using the actual weeds as a stepping stone into your van. Well, thanks for watching folks. I hope you join us again in the future, but in the meantime, bye for now.